All right, cool. So yeah, it's recording, Ayo. All right, cool, man.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Ayo, for joining me. I really do appreciate it. This is part of a series of just talking to young people and giving them exposure to, what a professional like yourself does and how you got to do what you do. Okay, so we're just gonna chat and we're just gonna keep it 100. Cool, Ayo. So just give us a broader background around yourself, who you are, what you do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. My name is Ayo. I studied civil engineering at the University of KwaZulu-Natal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I work as a civil engineer for our beloved ESCOM.
Ah, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
I
Cool,
think
man.
yeah, yeah.
So like how did you end up choosing civil engineering? I mean, why civil engineering? I assume it's because you're smart. But why civil engineering?
Sure. Actually, choosing what to study was a struggle for me. My dad is an electrical engineer, and I guess in grade 11 matric, that time, what are you going to do with your life and so on.
Yeah, yeah.
I think for me it ended up being, what subjects are you good at, and I was very good at maths. I love maths.
Right.
Um, I also did accounting, but I didn't like accounting.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I think it came down to engineering. Then it came down to what kind of engineering do you want to do. um, and I think, funny enough, my first choice was mechanical engineering. I think that was my first choice when I applied. My
Okay.
second choice was civil engineering.
Yeah.
Um, but because I mean I like the technical thinking part of it. But I ended up getting into civil engineering, not mechanical, which was fine, and yeah, that's how I ended up in engineering, in civil engineering, to be honest.
Nice. So so
Um,
basic so
yeah,
basically you're saying your dad was a big influence.
no,
Um,
for sure. Yeah.
all right, cool. So was he happy with your choice for civil rather than mechanical?
No, no, I mean he's electrical, but yeah, he didn't mind. I mean, I have three other siblings, and out of all his kids, I'm the only one who went into engineering like him. So he was just glad that one of his kids was going into engineering. So yeah,
No, nice. All right, cool. So like
yeah,
now you're into engineering, you're practicing, you're working for a public sector company. Um,
yeah.
so just tell us, what's a typical day in your life like nowadays? So a work day, what does it typically look like?
So I mean, at the moment, due to the COVID virus, I'm working from home. So I can, okay, in terms of working from home, we work on MS Teams. So wake up in the morning, get ready, and yeah, just sit at my desk, and start walking through emails. We have lots of meetings, due to my position. I have lots of meetings I have to be involved in, on a daily basis.
Right.
So yeah, so it's being involved in those meetings, dealing with a lot of technical, queries, issues, also managing the team, making sure people are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and on and on, and making sure we're meeting our deliverables and our dates. So those are my main responsibilities. So yeah, I end up doing that. Um,
Awesome.
yeah, if there's a reason I need to go to site at the moment, we only go to site if there's a real reason to, due to the virus. So if there's so for example, Monday I have to go to site, and then yeah, I'll go to site.
Cool.
So
So
yeah,
like,
that's how my days are.
okay, like, but like, just help me. Like, I don't know what a civil engineer does. So, but what's the
Yeah.
technical aspects of your job? What do you focus on?
So mm, so I mean, so I'm working at the power station at the moment. So it's a power station under construction, and in my role, I have to deal with all aspects of civil engineering. So there's structural.
Yeah.
So we build in substation buildings, general buildings, admin buildings, and so on. There's roads, infrastructure. There's civil, which is underground, stormwater, dirty water, clean water, and drains. We also deal with the dams. We have four main dams at the power station, so we deal with dams as well. I'm sure I'm probably missing out something. The ash dump as well, the ash dump. So we deal with that as well. So I guess the fortunate thing about my job is it covers the full spectrum of the civil engineering field. I'm not just focusing in one subfield. Yeah, you know.
So no, thanks for that context. So now you do this. You've been doing this for I think close to 10 years or so, right?
True. Yes. Yeah. Just over 10 years now.
Yeah. So and you're managing people. So what do you enjoy most about what you do, about being a civil engineer?
Well, definitely the working from home now is awesome. But in all seriousness, I think it's actually working on something from scratch. So when you get to site, there's nothing there, and then over the years you actually see it being developed. There wasn't a road there before, but there's a road there now.
Right.
This building, in the beginning it was just a foundation, and now it looks like a full building.
Awesome.
I think what I particularly enjoy about my job now is that it's where I work. I get to interact and integrate with other engineering disciplines.
Yeah.
So it's not just civil engineering, but I get to work with electrical engineers. I get to work with mechanical engineers, boiler engineers, system integration engineers. I get to see how the other disciplines work and how they integrate into civil engineering,
Yeah.
which I think it's a very rare thing, a very rare experience and exposure to get. So I enjoy interacting, with other disciplines. I think that's probably what I enjoy the most.
So tell me, are you getting that unique exposure because of the specific company you work for, or had you worked in any other company, would you have received similar levels of exposure to other forms of engineering?
No, so I think I'm getting that exposure because of where I'm working.
Okay.
If I was just working for a civil engineering company or consulting firm, you would purely do just civil. Depending on what project you work on, you may get to interact with other engineering disciplines.
Yeah.
Maybe if you work in a consulting company that doesn't only focus on civil, but has other divisions in other engineering divisions, yeah, you would probably get that exposure. But I think working just for a civil engineering company, you wouldn't get that exposure as much as I'm getting it now, for sure.
So that's something to be grateful for. So you've touched on what you enjoy. What do you least enjoy about what you do?
Well, definitely the traveling. So I live in Johannesburg, and the station I work on is in Mpumalanga. So it's definitely the waking up early, driving just over an hour just to get to work.
Yeah.
Then you work 9.5 hours on site, and you have to drive over an hour just to get back home. So I think that's definitely what I least enjoy. It takes away time from spending with family.
Ish.
It would be nice to get maybe a nice consulting firm, which is just 20-30 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
You can work a normal 8-hour job, come back home, go to the gym. That kind of normal lifestyle. But no, so it's quite demanding with the traveling, and yeah. So that's what I least enjoy at the moment. Yeah, it's too far from my home.
Have you ever thought about moving closer to the power station?
I mean, it's something you think about, but for me, it's something that I can't so I can't consider that at the moment. As you know, my wife works very close to our house, to our home. My daughter goes to a crash close to the home as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it's just me, then I'll probably be living in Mpumalanga. But as I'm a family man, I have to think about them, and I have to sacrifice, right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Those are the types of decisions you have to make as the head of
No.
home. So now, as we discussed, you're 10 years on into your career. Let's just track back at the start of the decade. So you joined this public sector company you're working for. What was your first role there exactly?
So my first role, I worked in the main office
Okay.
as a junior engineer. Basically, you put under a mentor, and you basically just shadow him, going to different other power stations. So his main job was with going to other power stations, and inspecting the problems and the civil engineering defects, and then coming up with a solution. So yeah, that was my first job, just shadowing him, going to this power stations with him, investigating the problem and coming up with solutions which you present to the power stations. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And now, um, I'm sure you didn't think, when you had graduated that flip, I'm gonna be just shadowing somebody, So I mean, I'm sure that was something you had to learn and just toughen up. But what else do you
Yeah.
think that useful advice that you wish you knew then, that somebody would have told you earlier on before you went into your first role?
I think there's several things. This public sector company I'm working for, I got a bursary, and straight after varsity, you go work for them, and it's a big company. I think the one thing I wish somebody would have told me is, I probably wouldn't have gone straight into a big public sector company. I would have advised myself to find a small, civil engineering company, where you're exposed to a lot of work, and you gain that experience in a short space of time.
Yeah,
I guess in a public sector big company, you're competing with a lot of people,
yeah,
especially when the company outsources some of their design work to outside companies.
mm,
You don't get the exposure that you want at the rate that you wanted. So my advice, I would have joined a nice, small civil engineering company. You don't focus on the money, just focus on the hard work and
yeah,
gaining that experience, because in 2 or 3 years you gain that experience. You can apply for your professional registration, and then you're very marketable after that,
good.
and then the rest is history. So I think for sure that's probably the one advice I would have given myself back then. Put your head down, work hard, don't think about the money,
Yeah,
gain that experience. Firstly find out what you need to apply, as a professional engineer from day one, learn, and then spend the next 2 or 3 years focusing on getting that experience in that small company. That would have been the experience I would have given myself for sure.
no, man, that's very useful feedback, and I think you can only get that type of wisdom once you've been through what you've been through. But you touch on a
Yeah,
good point, right? So, like you say, you got a bursary, which is great, and then this company then took you on, and
yeah,
it is a big company. So let's now. What I'm thinking about, there may be somebody watching or somebody's going to get exposed to this, and they may be in a similar position whereby they've got the bursary, and then sometimes what these companies do, they lock you in, right? That you have to go work for them. So how would you have navigated that, or what advice would you give to somebody with regards to how to navigate that in order for them?
I think, yeah. I think you have to be realistic. Getting that bursary it's also a blessing. University fees are not cheap, so it's also a blessing. So I think you need to be smart about it. Some of those bursaries, they do lock you in the amount of years you get a bursary for. You need to work for them, and so on and so forth. But I think you just need to be smart. Even if you end up in a big company, where you don't get where the experience and the exposure is not as much as a smaller company. It's up to you as an individual to speak to your manager. Make sure you find a mentor who you can learn from.
Yeah,
Make sure they have a proper mentorship program, a proper program that talks to developing you to become a professional engineer. I think you need to push that yourself, because if you don't, in a company as big as that, you just become a number.
Right.
So yeah, it's on you. I mean, and after those maybe 2 or 3 years of fulfilling your bursary, you would have gotten the experience you need, and then you can move on. You're not stuck down. So it's up to you as an individual. That like I said, that bursary is a blessing, and you must use those years to your advantage. You must just make sure you get the experience you need under the right mentorship program, and developing and the skills you need to apply as a professional engineer.
Awesome, awesome. No, thanks for that. It makes it a little bit more real, and I'm sure somebody who's watching would now be better suited to know what to do. And then let's. So you've done great. You're a qualified engineer, civil. What's been your greatest achievement in terms of your professional career?
Sure. Greatest achievement. It's probably going to be my current role now. So I think in 2018, I was appointed as the civil lead discipline engineer, which meant I had more responsibilities in managing a team and being the lead of the civil department, on site. Which was something great. I guess they saw some leadership values in me, and yeah, it's something I didn't see myself in. But sometimes you need to be thrown into the boat to learn. And yeah, so that's probably would be my greatest achievement. Yeah, for sure.
Well done, bro. Proud of you for that. And then because it's a job, sometimes there's ups and downs. So I would assume, you've got great moments like where you can be the lead civil engineer, but there's also some down moments. So how do you pick yourself up when you face challenges at work?
There's always down moments. I think it's life. There's always politics wherever you work, whichever company you work for. There's going to be politics. You're going to meet people who are difficult. I think it's life in general. And as a Christian, my faith in God definitely helps. Keeps me positive, keeps me encouraged, and helps me to keep pushing on. And then just spending time with friends and family, and focusing on the positive things in life. And that helps, and that's what has helped me, I would say, for sure.
All right, awesome. No, thanks for that reality. I think politics is something that I think graduates may not fully appreciate about the workplace, but it's just normal part of life, I guess. And it's very encouraging to hear that you look towards your faith to pick you up. And it sounds like it also you have a balanced life, so you value family, but you also value friends, and that's what helps you to make it through, I guess. Yeah. So, all right. No, thanks.
If I can add, Subs, I mean, definitely one of the lessons you learn, is how to interact with people, how to communicate with different kinds of people. And I think you can relate with what I'm saying. That's one of the biggest things you learn when you enter the workforce, the work field. You have to learn how to deal with people, how to interact with people, how to be professional, even when it's not easy. And that's a great skill to learn. Yeah,
like
for
also
sure.
like dealing with people who are different from you. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
another thing. Like people who look different from you, from different cultures. I think we're all raised in a particular type of way. Our parents, do their best and they put this into us, and they shouldn't put that into us. And so, when you enter the workplace, it's your own opportunity to get to know people for what they really are, and not what you were told
Yeah.
they are. So it's the
Yeah.
workplace can be also refreshing like that. Yeah.
No, that's true. That's true. And it's a challenge for you also to make a difference in your workplace.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, you dare to influence as well. So you do what you can, but at the end of the day, you be professional about it, and it's a great skill to learn. It's a great skill. You don't get emotional, but you be professional in your interactions with people.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. No, awesome. I don't know. Thanks so much, man, for your time. I appreciate the wisdom that you've shared with me and with people that are watching. Yeah, just so proud of you, the great professional that you are, and the great difference you're making to all of us as South Africans, you know, beneficiary of your services. All right,
it's
cool.
very kind words, very, very kind words.
Nah, they very well deserved words too, man. All right, cool, man. Thanks, Ayo.
No, appreciate that, Sobs. Take it easy, man.
Okay, shop, shop.
Okay, cheers.